Hello and welcome back to the Normies Decide, sub versus dub,
Yay.
Demon Slayer. It's time for Zenitsu, baby.
Zenitsu.
Everyone's favorite rattling, wailing voice of complaint and crying, right, Pat?
I love him. He's my favorite.
This will be a fun one.
God.
But you know, that is the
scared.
character, so
He's
this will be
good. I don't know why you guys hate him so much. Like,
He's a crybaby.
I don't hate it.
annoying
yeah,
voice.
but that's what he is. Like,
Well, I get
Actually,
you.
I think it's funny. Sometimes it goes on a long time.
Yeah, it's just too dragged on too long.
Yeah.
I didn't like him in the first season, but then I grew to like him.
Yeah.
But the first season was a lot.
Yeah.
The first season was a lot.
Really?
That, his badass moments are coming more and more
Yeah.
frequently now, which is good.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't be as badass if it weren't for the annoying crybaby voice, right?
Sure.
Like
Sure.
you have to have one to offset the other.
I mean, look at Tanjiro. Look at his in this school. Do they have crying ass voice? They're still badasses.
no, but I feel like
You don't think
if
Tanjiro's
Zenitsu didn't come through at all the time he has, like I would have hated him more. But like first time I was like, oh, okay, he can do more. And second time I was like, okay, you are fine. I think I can let go of your crying.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen him in last season, so we'll see how.
Sure, he was gone. Yeah, I want to see him thunderclap and flash, man.
Hey.
To be honest, if I was faced with a demon, I'd probably cry too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know. We're living with the world, and he has to fight them. He
TBH.
doesn't want
Also,
to.
I used to hate Armin, and I have huge respect
Well,
for Armin now after
It's
we
an
did the
L
dub.
take.
You know?
Armin is my favorite character.
Look,
of all
I
time.
used to hate
Ever.
him. But after sub and dub, man,
He is
I respect.
perfect.
I respect.
them.
I love
them.
Armin.
Well, let us begin, gang. This is going to be Shimono Hiro versus Alex Lay. And we're not going to bring down these incredible voice acting talents, skills, a profession. We are just a bunch of plebes on the couch. This is a subjective point of view. All right, we're going to look at one scene in the dub and then the same scene in the sub. And then each time we're going to talk about which one we like better. All subjective. You hate it sometimes. You love it sometimes. Let us know in the comments what your opinions are.
Can we make a jingle for this that just says, "The normies criticize professionals"?
Yes.
Professionally.
Professionally.
All right, first up is the English dub voice actor who is Alex Lee, 35 years old, born in Los Angeles, California. Vietnamese actor, also voiced in games like Final Fantasy VII Remake. Only voice. Notable roles, Thorfinn.
Oh, Dorfin and Vinland? Okay.
Thorfinn and Vinland Saga, Gamma 1 and Dragon Ball Superhero, nice. And MASH.
He's the main character from
Martial.
Martial Life.
He is also the main character in Solo Leveling. I'm
Oh.
reading it right now on Manga Club every Wednesday. It's twitch.tv/TheNormies TV. We have a Manga Club where we read along manga with you.
Yes.
But it's actually a manhwa, I believe it's
Yeah.
pronounced.
Yeah, manhwa.
South Korean. And yeah, he voices the main guy, Sung Jin-woo. Alex is going up against Shimono Hiro. Look at this dude. He looks cool as fuck.
Cool
Look
as
goddamn
hell.
cool.
I know. It's so cool.
Hiro Shimono.
43?
Wow.
Excuse me?
Asian don't raisin.
They don't.
They don't raisin.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Born in Tokyo, 2021 and 2022, he won the Most Valuable Seiyu Award.
Oh.
Nice.
Notable roles: Dabi, My
Hey.
Hero. Oh, Jean Arc and Ruby. Ice Window. Look out!
I did not think that Jean and Dabi.
Connie?
Yeah,
Connie,
Connie.
the Attack
Connie
of the Titans.
Springer.
Jean and Dabi, I didn't
Yeah,
literally
those
think
two.
those were the same voice actors.
Yeah, even Connie and Dabi.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't watch My Hero in sub, but we watched Attack on Titan in sub. All right, well, we have our lineup here. This first scene is the first time we see Zenitsu, essentially.
Yeah.
What more needs to be said? Let's watch.
なんで邪魔するんだお前には関係ないだろなんだよその顔やめろなんでそんな別の生き物見るような目で俺を見てんだお前責任取れよお前のせいで結婚できなかったんだから俺は吾妻善逸だよ助けてくれよ炭治郎女に騙されて借金したんだよ借金を肩代わりしてくれたジジイが育てだったの毎日地獄の鍛錬だよ死んだ方がマシだってくらいの最終選別で死ねると思ったのにさ運よく生き残るから未だに地獄の日々だぜあー怖いドバースが鬼に食われて死ぬんだ生きたまま右から脳髄を吸われてWould you give it a rest already?
Why did you have to get in my way? This had nothing to do with you! Why are you looking at me like that? Stop it! You're staring at me like I'm some sort of pitiful creature or something! The reason I missed out on getting married is all your fault! I'm Zenitsu Agatsuma. Please, you've got to do what you can to save me.
You're acting utterly pathetic right now.
That's a harsh way to put it. I got conned by a woman and racked up a lot of debt. The old geezer who took it over for me happened to be this tough-as-nails instructor. He made me train to the bone every day. It was so hellish, I just wanted to die. I was hoping that happened during final selection, but since I survived, this nightmare continued to haunt me. Ah, I'm so scared, terrified, frightened. I just know I'm gonna get eaten by a demon soon. My brains are gonna get sucked through my ears while I'm still alive. No! Please save me!
Hey, are you okay?
I feel like both are dead even.
So good.
Both are equally annoying.
I don't know. I thought it was funny.
Looking back at it now, how dark Demon Slayer is, I forgot how just this is a straight comedy.
Yeah.
Over the top extra.
I think I
Zenitsu.
really like the Japanese one now
Same.
over the English. I like the translation of the English when he was saying I'm scared, scared, scared. They used 3 different words for scared. So I thought that was like an improvement. But I think in terms of performance, the Japanese was better. Because I feel like his voice, like default, is kind of deep and very mature. But he's able to like really go like high pitch whenever the scene calls for it. And it seemed to me like it was better done in the Japanese version.
How do you like your Zenitsu? Is just always over the top the whole time during his scenes to just completely, carry that joke or stretch that joke, or a little bit of variation in the middle? 'Cause
The variation.
To me, I feel like the English voiceover, he calmed down a little bit in the middle before bringing it up again.
Interesting.
And maybe it was just this scene, because I'm sure there's scenes in the Japanese sub also where Zenitsu kind of lowers his crying a little bit. But maybe
in this particular scene.
yeah, maybe Alex just wanted to play it a little bit differently for this scene. I liked that. This is hard for me. I feel like they're dead even, because even the hyperventilating, I feel like we laughed at the same parts
Yeah.
both times.
No.
I know you guys don't usually see the reaction bit, but we were cracking up mostly. This whole thing. Come back to me, I guess.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's very close. Like they're very dead even. I think for this scene, like he was going over the top because we first introduced him, so he has to be over the top. And the hyperventilating from the sub
that.
guy was hilarious because they're very like he needed a fucking inhaler, the shit that he just went through. Like so, I feel like that was I like that take on how to do it. So I'll pick the sub, but it is very fucking dead even.
Yeah. I really prefer the Japanese dub. I mean, overall, they're dead even, but I like my Zenitsu really over the top and just scared the hell. Like, he's just scared. He doesn't want to be there, and he is there, and he's just scared. And every time he comes on, I was like, I feel you, man. Like, you don't want to be here. Like, I understand. Like, you're scared. Like, anybody would be scared. There's demons. And him just, like, hyperventilating. I love the way in Japanese, like,
Yeah.
because he, like, I'm assuming the voice actor just screamed it off in one breath, and he was like literally like hyperventilating. And also when when Tanjiro was like, "My name is Tanjiro," and he's like, "Oh, nice to meet you." I'm like, "Tanjiro!" Like the way he did it, I was like, I really like the Japanese. Like, I think in English, I don't know if it was on purpose or not. It may have been like I don't know how the reception was when the sub got aired. If people really didn't like Zenitsu, maybe that was kind of downplayed a little bit in the English, or it might have been just coincidence. Who knows?
Maybe they had that chance to tailor it a little bit. I did find the English version a little less annoying.
Okay.
But you kind of want that with him. That's who he is. I guess I'll say sub for this just because the hyperventilating in the end was a little bit more. The dub was good. He hyperventilated still, and I'm impressed with Alex's ability to have range compared to being. He's so badass as the main character in Solo Leveling that it's kind of really funny to know that that's the same guy. I guess the sub wins this one, guys. As far as the crying hyperventilating, really push it through.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know like Zenitsu it's annoying, but I think it after first season you realize how dark Demon Slayer is, and like looking back, it was like this is a comedy relief that we kind of need.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't
Some
there for the
levity.
last season. And Tokito was a little bit of comedy, dry comedy relief, but it's like still like chilled down. So
Yeah.
like, we need Zenitsu to be like, oh my god, we cannot
Yeah.
die. What's the point of this life?
And that build up for when he does become badass, it's like, oh, you better the clenched cheeks. You just pause everything, don't talk.
Yeah.
He's asleep.
Yeah. I know.
You don't stay woke out here. All right,
One day he will.
We're moving on now to scene 2.
When he sees Nezuko for the first
Oh
time.
my god.
Oh god.
Simping ass. Come
Yeah.
ネズコちゃんネズコちゃんネズコちゃんあ炭治郎なぜしよう炭治郎そんなこと言うなよ炭治郎ネズコちゃんやめろネズコちゃん
Hi, Nezuko. How are you today? Where are you going, Nezuko? Wait for me. Tanjiro. Let's be best friends, Tanjiro. Oh, come on. Don't be a stranger, Tanjiro.
Man, I'm hungry.
It sounds like Aaron Yeager.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it is.
Is that him?
Yeah.
You know what? I think I'm gonna give it to the dub
Yeah.
because
Less
it was
creepy.
creepier and less funny, and it was supposed to be a little creepy and funny. I especially like the way Alex is able to mimic Hiro Shimono's way of elongating the word at the end.
Yeah.
Because that's like always the complaint about sub-dub, like, you know, the vocabulary of each language is so different that you can stretch those words. But luckily Tanjiro ends with an O. So he was like, Tanjiro! Like, that's exactly how Hiro does it. And I just think he did a great job of mimicking that. And obviously Hiro was the first person to do it.
Yeah.
So it's not like he created that himself. But I just want to give him kudos for replicating it in English in a believable way that didn't sound like
Force.
out of place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The laugh at in the dub was more creepy.
Yeah.
I think it like
Nezuko.
fit the situation.
Just the way he did it, like, hey, Nezuko. I was like, ah.
Yeah, and then he was like, oh god, no.
Hilarious.
Imagine that you just hear that in the dead of the night.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Nope.
And you just woke up from your
Nope.
slumber.
It's like a ghost.
Yeah, definitely going with English here.
English or Japanese?
English.
English? Oh, okay.
For me, I think the sub. Well, so the dub was a lot more creepy, and the sub was more funny. But for this scene, I feel like we need the creepiness because, like, you know, that's like he's coming off creepy because, like, this is like
He
the
is.
second time he met her and he's acting like all lovey-dovey. So I feel like the dub match the scene, I guess.
Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Like, it's true. Like, I think overall in the scene, I prefer the sub because it's less creepy, but because it's supposed to come off creepy, just like wait, then yeah, dub. So then dub.
A lot of things are like inadvertently creepy in Japanese anime that are just played for laughs
Yeah.
usually. But I think when you're translating that to an American audience,
It's like,
it should adjust a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
I think it's also a language barrier, right? Like if you hear somebody say, I think there was like a videos around like if somebody with the English accent say something creepy, it will still come off nice because the English accent just kind of hides that away.
Yeah.
So it's just like because we don't know a Japanese language, like if I knew it might sound
That's
more
funny.
creepy, but because I don't, I was like, oh, that's cute. But the English, like, I know, and that's so creepy.
Yeah.
So it could be that.
That
so.
makes sense.
Familiarity. And guys, like dub always has the uphill battle in these. So like we're obviously sometimes, I'm not saying we give freebies or anything, but it's always a downhill climb. Am I saying that right?
Uphill
Right?
climb.
Yeah, it's a handicap for the dub every time. So it's like you got to give kudos when you can to it. But
Yeah. No, this one for sure.
yeah.
That wins.
all right, well, moving on now. Scene 3.
この音気配が変わった。
雷の呼吸一の型霹靂一閃 でる急に死んでるよ何なのもうやだ何これ何これやだありがとう助かったよこの恩は忘れないよこんなに強いなら最初に言っといてよ
What is this sound? He's not the same as before. Thunder breathing. First form. Thunderclap and flash. It's dead! When did that happen? What the hell? This is weird! What is this? Yuck! Shoichi, did you just... You saved me! Thank you so much! I'll never forget that you did this! Why didn't you just tell me from the start that you were so powerful?
So
I love it.
am I the only one who feels like there's more information in the Japanese?
I feel like it is because like it's shorter.
Like in terms of just the translation itself, it felt to me like more was communicated in the subtitles.
Maybe.
Slightly, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just...
So like when he's saying like, oh, thank you so much for saving me. I thought I was gonna die, blah, blah. Like it seemed like there was extra line
Yeah.
in the dub.
I think it was pretty even, maybe besides here where he was like resting on the little kid. He might have been blabbering a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I think mostly it was the same. Maybe it was just more reading. He could have shortened some lines a little bit here and there. So I'm gonna choose sub for this one, I think.
Oh.
I know Alex can sound badass because I watched some of the solo leveling scenes, and I didn't quite get that from him as much as I got it from Hiro with that transition. Like I felt like Hiro sounded like next level, like he is him type of shit, and Alex was more realistic in a way that like maybe Zenitsu doesn't turn into fucking Jamal or like has this amazing badassery within him, but that's how badass he can be, is at least speaking calmly. And like it's almost more realistic in the dub that he's just at baseline now and just speaking like steadily at equilibrium. But I like the contrast of how badass he can be personally, so I'm gonna choose Hiro for this one.
I'm probably gonna pick the same.
But it is realistic
for the same reasons you just said. I picked the sub, and I like the contrast of being super like we know he is, and then when it's said and done, when he's sleeping, he's just a different person. And like I like the contrast where you're just a completely different person than baseline.
Interesting. I'll go opposite, kind of for the same reasons, but I really
it's just what you prefer at this point.
I thought like in dub when he said thunderclap breathing, I thought that was insanely badass. Just like immediately I was like, oh, like I have not, at least in this, I haven't seen Alex be this badass in the scenes that we have seen so far, and obviously this is the first time we actually see him doing thunder breathing, so we haven't really seen him, heard him talk that badass before. And I guess both of the voice actors did the same thing, right? Like they went badass and then immediately like, what is this? And like immediately changed their voice. That's kudos to both of them, just showing the range. I think I just preferred the dub in this one, just the way Zenitsu changed tone. I guess I just haven't...
It is more realistically badass. Where like if he was passed out, he's just calmly saying this cold ass line.
I thought like it wasn't as calm and subdued in the dub. I'll say like it's a little bit more of like I see Zenitsu has two personalities. Like he has like once he's passed out, he's a completely different personality, and that voice is much deeper and stronger, and he just felt stronger and controlled in that. Not that I'm saying it's not in sub, but in sub it just still sounds like a little bit more subdued than in dub. It's like he had a power in his voice. Could be because I understand the English better than the Japanese, but I usually think the Japanese sounds way cooler, but I just thought the dub for this one won, at least for me.
What about you, Katanamo?
Well, I want to first like give both of them a shout out for the scream. Because it was hilarious.
So funny.
In both, and I loved it so much. This one is hard because I think the differences are so small. I want to give it to the Japanese version because, like I said, I think there was more communicated. Kind of like learn more about Zenitsu from that scene in Japanese than I would in English.
Interesting.
And I can't explain why. I just think, I don't know, if I watch it again, I would probably be able to pinpoint exactly what, but it seems like in terms of information, you got more out of it in Japanese. I really enjoyed both, and for very unexplainable reasons, I will give it to the Japanese version.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to scene 4. Zenitsu wants to change.
Uh-oh.
This is another emotional Zenitsu scene, a little bit different than what we usually have seen. So let's check it out.
嫌な人生だよ。雷に打たれてさ、髪の色変わるし、生きてるだけ。ありがたかったけど、俺が一番自分のこと好きじゃない。ちゃんとやらなきゃっていつも思うのに、怯えるし、逃げるし、泣きますし、変わりたい。ちゃんとした人間になりたい。でもさ、俺だって精一杯頑張ってるよ。なのに最後髪つる抜けで化け物になんの？嘘でしょ？嘘すぎじゃない！じゃあ登ってくんなよ。ちょっとでいいから一人にして。ちょっとでいいから。もうこの段階で抜けるの？毛の抜け始め。あいつさっき説明しなかった。
Getting hit by lightning. How unlucky can you get? That's when my hair color changed. I was thankful just to be alive, but even so, I hate myself more than anyone else. I always try to get my act together, but I just end up running away or cowering in fear. I'm pathetic. I want to change. I want to be a capable individual. The fact is, I'm doing absolutely everything that I can, but I still have to be turned into some horrific spider creature. It can't be. Say it isn't true. Oh crap! Don't climb up here! Can you leave me alone for just a little bit? This is all too much for me to handle right now! Huh? My hair's falling out already? Wait, my hair... Hey, he never mentioned that part to me!
Very similar.
Yeah.
But they both have the same range of going from like panicky to like sad and just thinking back into the thoughts of like
I feel like the Japanese voice actor sounds different in every scene. He sounds like an entirely different person. Like when he was what was the first scene we watched? The one where
Tanjiro.
Zenitsu is there for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just sounds like like a whole different person.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It could be because of the character development.
Yeah.
Like he could have developed because of knowing Tanjiro, where he's like actually thinking like, oh, I'm doing everything. Like I want to change.
Yeah, but it's like even though he's like nagging and screaming and crying at Tanjiro in the first scene, his voice is like very mature sounding, you know?
Fair enough.
And here is very like an actual baby in distress. You know what I mean? And it's just like really interesting to me that he's able to do both.
Yeah.
And I don't. Again, I'm gonna give this to Japanese, but I feel like this is very tight, and I don't really have an actual reason besides like I like the Japanese better, personally and absolutely subjectively.
I'm gonna give dub.
Yeah, so that's where I was gonna go.
Just for the dialogue changes slightly. The writing was a little bit different on some of the translations. In the sub, he was saying like, "Give me a minute. Can you just give me a minute?" And in the dub, he said like, "Just back off real quick, please. Or can't you see I'm going through something?" Like it was, I don't know, it was something like that. He didn't, not exactly that, but he didn't say, "Give me a minute. Give me a minute."
And then he's like, give me a minute. Like I can't handle this right now. Like it's too much.
And you're the same way from the previous scene. I feel like a little bit more information was portrayed in the dub here than the sub, just as far as being less repetitive and more relatable in that way. 'Cause we've all been there. Just back off for one fucking second.
I need to go for a walk.
Oh what? Oh, my hair's falling off.
The soul leaving his body is very like
It's so funny.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Type
I love that part. Like anytime the soul, and especially like L, like come back.
Yeah, you're like, no.
Funniest thing
That's
ever.
great. Yeah, dub for me on this one.
For me, it's sub, actually. No. Sorry, I take it back. For me, it's dub. I think the same reasons as well.
I think you like Alex's voice.
I do love Alex's voice. I really love the sub in the introduction, but I think, you can see, like, when we first meet Zenitsu, he thought, like, he wanted to just die. Like, he was thinking that he will die in the selection one. He was like, I can't believe I made it. Like, what am I still doing? And then this one, he's like, I want to change. I really want to change. And I think that change, the personality fits better with Alex Lee, whereas in the beginning, desperate voice sounded better with a Japanese, with a hero. Again, just personal I think just way I preferred the scene, I preferred the character. I like the dub in this scene particularly.
All right, I think it's dub for this. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say a dub for me. They're both close, but I think he was more panicky, and I like the extra words, like you said. And I think the dub actor just fit the scene a lot better than the sub. Yeah.
So dub on this one, but I think
a lot better. Like for me, it's every single time was like damn near.
Oh, it was yeah.
They got their crying scenes deadlock.
Yeah.
Even. And it's whenever he's giving other emotion or seriousness is when I'm like teetering.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do I prefer more from there? But yeah, the crying Zenitsu, absolutely even, I feel like.
Yeah. And then it just becomes preference.
Yeah.
Like, again, it's just down to preference on what we like. It's not necessarily we like Alex more than Hero or Hero more than Alex. It's just
No, Alex is way cooler than Hero. No, I'm kidding. All right, we got a bonus scene because I think otherwise right now we're tied. Sub dub. This fifth scene, the bonus scene is gonna be the tie-breaking round. We'll see who takes it here. This is the scene where Zenitsu emerges and almost kills Daki right off tops. He's all in the rubble. Yeah, in the entertainment district, season 2 technically.
雷の呼吸一の型霹靂一閃神速切れろ切れろ振り抜け霹靂の神速は2回しか使えない足がダメになる瓦礫から抜けるために一度使っていて後がないそしてもう今以外首を狙える機会は訪れない炭治郎がこの千載一遇を作った絶対に切る絶対に
Oh, goosebumps.
That's
goosebumps. Oh.
Yeah. This is what I wanted to see in the dub now.
Thunder breathing. First form. Thunderclap and flash. Godlike speed! Cut through her! My body can only handle using Thunderclap and Flash godlike speed twice, and I've already used it once to escape the rubble. I won't get another chance to go for her neck if I don't do it now! Tanjiro created this 1 in a million chance! I'm going to slash her for sure, no matter what!
Dub?
Yeah, that was for you.
I loved Alex and that was
I know,
beautiful.
I could tell as soon as he first started.
As soon as I was like, oh!
What's going on down there?
It was like, damn. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, that was good in the dub. God, I don't want to say mine first. I don't want to color anybody's impression. You guys go first.
Pat.
I'm going to say sub. They're both close. I don't even know why I'm saying sub. It's just because they went first, and I'm kind of used to the sub. And we watch it in sub. So, but yeah, I'm going to have to go with sub. I have nothing to say. Like that they equal.
Your preference is sub.
Yeah.
You're biased for sub.
It's like sub. We
so
saw
funny.
it first.
This is very difficult. I truly feel like both of these voice actors are like doing their best.
But there can only be one winner.
Shows.
I'm just kidding.
I think both audiences deserve the best. Okay. So I'm happy that they're both putting it in there. I don't know. This is really hard. I think I have just a bias towards sub at this point because
Tobias.
yep,
Funke.
if you will.
If you will.
Yeah, I don't know. It's sub for me, but I can't explain why. It's just they are both excellent.
They're so good.
I think it was good to have this one as the bonus scene just because we didn't see, throughout this series, we didn't see much of the badass Zenitsu. I think this is the only time where he gets like so many speaking lines in that form. So, again, deadlocked on the funny Zenitsu, right?
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. His first words that he spoke in the dub
So cool.
was like sexy. But after that, when he has to like scream and like go all
keep on
out,
talking.
it to me the sub just edges that out a little bit more
Fair enough.
because like it just sounds like he's actually straining. And I'll quote Mickey here, like Japanese voice actors for whatever reason, dub should be good at this too, but the Japanese voice actors always seem to you feel their environment more.
It's like they're actually cutting it, like holding
Yeah.
the pressure. It's
Cut
like
through,
just-
cut through.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe he's thinking, I don't know if you can't think yell, do you? I don't know how thoughts work. But yeah, just the sub barely edges it out for me. If he kept that same badassery that I felt in the first spoken
like
line,
2 words. Yeah.
then I think I would have chosen dub, but it's
Fair
tough for
enough.
me.
I think maybe my preference of the sub here with Hiroshimono is because the very first scene where his voice was really ragged, even though he was fucking crying, makes me excited for future scenes with Zenitsu, where he might get even more like deep and like more rugged. And in this scenes, I was expecting that to come out, and I was kind of surprised that we were still in the I'm asleep, you know.
Yeah.
But it makes me excited that we will probably get more of that in the future. So.
Yeah. Fair enough.
The dub was also because I know English, it sounds wordy when he says the technique. Godlike speed, the first time he said it in the sub, sounded badass. And I think he sounded badass in the dub too, but it was after when he was explaining, like, I can only use thunder breathing first form godlike speed twice. He was thinking it, so to me, that is a failed decision in the translating department. Like, I don't think you needed to do that whole line there. You could have just, in English, just because
I
it
can
flows
only
better,
use this
I can
move
only use
twice.
godlike speed twice, or like
Yeah.
or this move. Or he could have just said Godspeed or whatever, because like he did. I don't know. But it was like thunder breathing first form godlike speed. I can only use that. It was too much in English to hear on my ears. I
No,
don't know.
that makes sense.
You know, it's
It
crazy
does.
that we want too much information and then we don't want too much information.
Yeah.
You know?
In Japanese, all that information sounds digestible.
Information.
And it's like we want more information, but not repetitive information.
Okay.
Yeah, because like when that was said, it was like, okay, we got it.
To be fair, I think he does repeat that in the sub too, but since we don't know Japanese, it doesn't sound like a
Yeah.
mouthful.
Yeah.
It just sounds like your regular amount of Japanese to us.
Yeah, and we just reading it, we're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We only used twice. I don't know. Yeah, I like dubbing this one, regardless of all those choices. But I do agree with all those. So yeah, like it was a little bit wordy, but I think just that one scene kills it all.
I think one thing's for sure: if Alex Lee comes to Indianapolis PopCon, Novi's better get a picture.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lie,
wow.
he's smooth. He's got that
Yeah.
going for him, and I can't wait to watch Solo Leveling. I believe the winner is
Mr. Hiro.
Shimono? I think so,
Shimono
yeah.
Hiro. The perfect dub voice for Zenitsu for sure, but the sub just slightly edges it out for us.
Slightly.
Let us know your thoughts, who you would think would win, what scenes should we have put in, and we'll see you for the next sub dub, My Hero Academia.
Yes. Yeah. Hero Academia.
My favorite anime.
We're gonna have quite a bit of Hero Academia ones, so I am super excited for that because I love Dark Deku.
Subscribe, like, see you later.
Bye.